Okay, so we are live again. Thank you. Welcome to Next Level 2 Women Entrepreneur 10K Global Women Business Tour, where we are focusing on marketing. I am super excited to be your host. My name is Oluwafunke. I go by Sunshine, full and whiter, the CEO and founder of Next Level 2 Women Entrepreneur, where we provide women entrepreneurs the speaking event platform so they can be able to speak about their business, share about their passion, and most of all, let you know how they can help and assist you in taking your business and your life to the next level. Well, tonight I am super excited about our speaker. I call her VIP because when she comes on here, she brings tons of information to take our video marketing to the next level. And I say ton, I mean a lot of information. So I would recommend get your notepad, get your pen, get your paper, whatever note-taking device you have, and get ready to definitely take notes. But most of all, be prepared to ask questions. Coach Tonia Smith actually goes back and she reads the comments and she actually does reply back to you because she really cares about your overall success. So today's topic is going to be posting for a profit. So without further ado, I'm going to drop the mic over to you, Coach Tonia Smith, because I know you know exactly what to do with it. Go ahead and make it happen.
Thank you, Sunshine. And thank you so much for this platform. It's been just such a lovely experience working with you and having this place to be able to serve more people in the entrepreneur space. And so the posting for profits, and I actually titled this particular slideshow at Content to Cash Flow because, you know, when we're creating content, the ultimate goal is that we want to create an income, right? Or in some cases, maybe it's a nonprofit and you're wanting to lead to that, or maybe either way, right? Our mission is to create a profit, to create that cash flow. And so I just thought that would be appropriate today. So just to let you know who I am, I'm a social media strategist and business strategist. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, and I even a young great grandma, and I live in the country. Love my animals, love to travel, love to go on adventures with my horse and my dog. And I know how important it is to create an income, but also to be able to enjoy life to the fullest. It's no fun if you're trying to create an income, a business online, grow a business online, and be so busy and overwhelmed that you're just not able to enjoy your life. And so I help digital marketers basically dominate their social media without the burnout. And so they can live the life and have the life and business of their dreams. So today is we're going to talk about making over our Facebook profile. This is the first step into creating content that leads to sales. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. In May the 25th, and I believe, Sunshine, I've got these dates right. If I don't, you can correct me. May 25th is a workshop this is going to be session 2 of this workshop, and that's to plan your content strategy.
Yes.
And the strategy is really what's going to be the making or breaking of whether you are successful. And then this is even more important in June 8th workshop is mastering the art of audience connection. And so the connection is vital to the sale. So what does posting on social do for us? Well, it develops that know, like, and trust factor. If you have not heard of that before, people are more likely to purchase from you or a brand that they have a relationship with. And because of this relationship, when people become familiar with you, they form that connection with you. Think about the mom and pop store or maybe a place that you go to regularly. You feel more likely that if someone that works, let's say it's a dress shop, and you go into that dress shop and you're a regular there, right? And that they get to know you, the sales staff gets to know you. So if they come up to you and they go, oh my gosh, this dress that you've been looking at the other day is on sale. Well, naturally, you're going to go look at it. You're not going to feel offended. You're not going to go, why is she trying to sell me? You're going to be thankful. You're going to be excited. And that is what we want our audience to be towards us. We want them to know, like, and trust us so much that when we finally do make an offer, they are like, yes, finally, yes, thank you, right? Posting on social consistently, you're going to grow authority, you're going to grow your influence and your credibility. My mouse doesn't want to cooperate today. There we go. So the 5 goals of content creation: you want to build your brand awareness. And we can dive into that if anybody has any questions about that. Generate engagement, drive traffic. You want to eventually send them somewhere to that next step. That could be building your email list. Now the text systems are out there that really are effective too in building that know, like, and trust factor. And the ultimate goal is that you want to increase your leads and sales. So the content to cash flow workshop, this one today, this particular workshop, we're going to actually dive into the Facebook profile, because your Facebook profile has so much in it. There are at least 5 pieces of real estate that people miss out on. Places that you can actually can be like your own lead generation machine, right? So I want to talk about that, and we're going to actually show a live demo. But for that, I want you to think about this. Is your Facebook profile attracting your ideal audience, or is it repelling? The last thing you want, and a lot of times there's some people will look at this and say, well, but I have a business page and that's where I send people to. Or I don't really want my personal profile to be about business. Well, that's fine. But if you're wanting to grow a business on social media, you've got to utilize your Facebook profile. You just do. What is the first thing that people go to? Where do they look when they're checking you out? Let's say you're on TikTok, or you're on you're on a TikTok or even YouTube, and people are wanting to know more about you. They go to Facebook, your profile. They look for you. They search for you. And so if they come to your profile, or maybe you've just connected with them on Facebook, maybe you've asked them to send a friend request, a friend request. You want them to come to your profile and go, oh yeah, she's someone I want to work with. I like this, what I see, right? We want to make sure that when they come to our profile, they're not like, oh, absolutely not. Now, there's a couple of things you got to consider, right? Are you showing up? Are you showing yourself? Are you being seen? And we're going to dive into that here in just a minute. So now we're going to go, and I've had a couple of volunteers. Deborah, appreciate you so much, because I'm going to go to your profile. And then if we have time, I got someone that a friend of mine that said she would let me go over her profile. So Deborah Profit Walker, she is a coach, and I believe, Deborah, you're a relationship coach. Is that in your intro? Okay. Yes. So I want to point out a couple of things that I love about her profile. Number one, so down here on this circle, can y'all see that when my mouse going around? Okay. That is fantastic. Your profile picture. Now that's your profile picture. The big photo up here that I'm circling, that is your cover photo. This is your profile
Got you. Okay.
You want it your face smiling. You don't, and you are. So I'm so thankful and happy that you've done that, because sometimes people put up here that they are they put a picture of their dog, or they put a picture of them with their family in that little picture. Well, in order for someone to get to know you, like you, and trust you, they need to see you, right? So that is fantastic. You're smiling. I love to tell people, whatever you do, don't look like a serial killer, because you don't want to repel people. And believe me, I've seen some that, it's just what it is. So there's a little trick that I want to show you that is, not everyone will click on your profile photo like they will the cover, but when they click on this, it automatically, and I'm on a desktop. Now on your phone, it may look different, but when they click on this, I want to point out, Deborah, this is an area you could take advantage of.
Okay.
Right over here in the edit, in your captions. What I would do is you can put anything that is, if you can put a link here, links do really well. You can tell a story. You could tell a story about what this moment of this photo meant to you. Like you want people to get to know you, right?
Okay.
So it
Okay.
doesn't have to be a sell. Doesn't even have to be a link, even
Mhm.
though Facebook allows that and doesn't penalize you for it.
Mhm.
But every time you change your cover photo and every time you change your profile photo, it
Mhm.
comes up in your timeline and you get the algorithm likes it. So more people see it. So
Oh,
every
okay.
time you change that, so if you do have a link in there or you're telling your story, what I've done before is on the cover photo, I'll pin it, my cover photo. This is your profile photo, but pin it to the top with that message that I'm trying to get out. So
Gotcha.
yeah. So then you've got the cover photo. Now,
Mhm.
this is the same photo. There's nothing wrong with that, but you want to give them a variety. What I would recommend
Right.
is you maybe in the same scenario, but maybe hanging out with your family. This can be more personal, but you want
Okay.
to be you in it. So it
Gotcha.
could be you talking on stage. It could be you on vacation somewhere. Whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be. Uh, it doesn't have to be necessarily business, but there's nothing wrong with what you do, how you share your value. I just
Mhm.
prefer, sometimes you'll see quotes, you'll see people putting a message up there, and
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
But I would say the more like it is your personal profile, where people feel like they're kind of getting some inside scoop about you, makes people
Mhm.
like feel connected more to you.
Right. Right. Okay.
So again, on your cover photo right here, this is a fantastic place to put
Okay.
more information,
Okay.
right? It's just those two right there. I have people I know that have created a very good business, and all they've done is from their personal
Wow.
yeah, because they're strategically putting things, and of course there's more to it, but
Yeah.
you can really this is where you can really gain leads,
Mhm.
followers, just by putting in the right helping people know how you serve, what problem you solve,
Mhm.
and then offering them that next step, right?
Gotcha.
So you did really well. You put an intro here, fantastic. There's that is wonderful. You can put a link here.
Mhm.
So if you have a group, if you have something free, Facebook is more about free. So if you have like a freebie, a Facebook group, a newsletter that you can invite them to, something very low resistant.
Mhm.
I would not ever recommend putting a link to a high ticket offer in this space.
Okay.
What you want for your profile, your personal profile, is you want them to stay there long enough to want to go to that next step with you.
Gotcha.
And so this is wonderful. I would say anything that people can connect you with. I don't recommend this intro section, this section here, to have too much,
Mhm.
because people will get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. You're from Washington, D.C., you're married. That might be something people connect with. If you have maybe a school you went to that people would be going like, oh, or where you live. Now,
Mhm.
this is if your profile's public, and if it's not, it should be. But if it is public and you're maybe live in a small town, you could put a nearby city, right? Where people go, oh,
Mhm.
you live in, like I live in Texas. And I usually say, now my profile says my town, but like if I'm putting things out in like on TikTok or something, I'll put like the town next to me, right? It's a bigger city.
Okay.
But it's a way for people to go, oh, you live in Texas, or you're from Washington, D.C. I used to live
Mhm.
near there, right? It's a connection point.
Mhm.
I love that you've put is that Instagram, your Instagram connection. You've got some links here. I don't think they're clickable, so you might want to go check that to make sure they're,
Okay.
and then more links, and that's fine. That's perfect. Just have that. You might check those links.
Okay.
And you've taken advantage of the featured photo. So good job. And so these are just some great, one thing you can do is on the about section,
Mhm.
on the workplace, right? Where you
Mhm.
go to work in education. You don't have anything here, but if you will fill that out, when you have a message with someone, that shows up at the top. So it shows you can actually say something about who you are and who you serve and things like that, and it will show when you message people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, test that out. If you're friend requesting someone and they say, and you see at the top, it'll be blank or it'll have something. So
Okay, great.
so and then going through your posts, I'm just going to kind of skim. I'm not going to dive too deep into this because what I mainly want to talk about is those 5 points: your cover photo, your profile photo, where the parts that you can take advantage of, the links you can drop where people, Facebook allows it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you didn't have an intro here, I'd recommend that, and you do. You can put a link here. Like I said, Deborah, do you have a Facebook group that you are trying to grow?
No, not right now.
Yeah, so it's fine not to have a link, but if you had like a freebie or something, it's okay to put that there.
Okay.
Just looking through your posts, I love the vibe, right? You have a very
Mm-hmm.
positive, uplifting vibe. You sit here, you're telling a story. What I would suggest in this picture, this post right here,
Mm-hmm.
people need to see visuals.
Okay.
They need to see you. Now, you're down here doing a reel, I assume, or a live.
Mm-hmm.
Live video or videos in general are absolutely the fastest way to grow that know, like, and trust. But what
Okay.
I would do on this one right here is I just add anything with a written word, add a picture. It doesn't
Okay.
have to relate, but the more that people see you, the better. The better. Just
Okay.
here, like, even if you did, I love this question: vanilla ice cream on top of apple pie. Or that is funny, Deborah. Those are fun questions. It breaks it up. And
Yeah.
so, especially if you're wanting to promote something, if you're on heavy promotion mode, getting a lot of engagement right before you go into heavy promotion is
Mm-hmm.
a great strategy. So oh, see, there you go. You got a beautiful picture. I love it. All right. Right. So any of these that are written, what I would do is either put a picture of you, or you could use your avatar picture. Those are Facebook likes those. See, like here, you've got this. That's fine. It doesn't always have a picture of you. It doesn't have to. This can be, but see how this catches the eye a little bit more than just the text.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So now I'm going to go over to my my friends. Good Lord, I got all these messages. Y'all, I have a book launch and I'm messaging people to come into the group. So if anybody wants to come in and get a free download, let me know. I can get you. I can get you. So this is my friend Ashley Tonia, and she is a mind, body, and spirit coach. And so I wanted to share hers. She is here, like Deborah. She has her face smiling. What I would recommend here for her is that she, on her cover photo, is to have a picture of her. I don't have a problem at all with her giving a beautiful quote. Just know, especially if you're like in network marketing, a quote immediately puts up a red flag. Oh, their business, and I don't know that I want to stay in the world, right? Because if people hint, and she's not a network marketer, she's a coach, but there's nothing wrong with this. I just wanted to throw that in, because if you're looking at this and you're wanting to promote your network marketing business, in that realm, you want people to come into you and feel comfortable. You don't want them to put resistance up, like afraid you're going to pitch them any second, right? And so I would be careful on how you did your cover photo. Make sure it's just you and your family, or you on vacation, like I told Deborah. And so that's the only thing I would suggest. I would say, yes, leave the quote, the beautiful statement here, knowing Ashley, that was her quote. But I would say a picture of her. And that could be just a picture of her in this situation like this. So I've already kind of looked at Ashley. So I know that on her photo, her personal profile photo, she does not have the information here that she could have. So Ashley, if you're watching this, make sure you add some information there. You could talk about the moment of this picture, anything you can talk about, it looks like you're in outdoor gear. You could be talking about how you love being outdoors and working. Ashley is does Qigong. And so she loves to do that outside. She could talk a little bit about that. It's just a way for people to connect with you. But what she did do well, and I wanted to give this an example, Deborah. So what she did here, she just start here to get mentally fit. Now, I like that she had a link. The thing I want, and that all that is inviting people to her newsletter. So it's a very low resistance. What I would probably add here is maybe a little story, like maybe examples, speak into the pain of what does it feel like when you're not mentally fit, right? Why would I want to be mentally fit, right? What does that look like? What does that mean? And so speak into that pain of what am I going through that she could help me with, right? And then down here, she's perfect. She put her intro it's fun. I'm a lover of this moment, family, nature, walks, and kale. That's fun. She could put a link here if she wanted to, as long as you have something filled out there that's kind of lets people know who you are. She does have her profile set to professional, which is fine. She is showing where she works at. This is her business. So do you see, Deborah, the difference? If you could put a little information, you could put your I work at and your coaching business.
Okay.
And then talked about some of her where she studied. This is good if these are, if you have some certifications that you don't want too many of them, but if there's one in particular that really could speak to your audience, it's like connect with them, right? Help them understand what, if you looked here and said she studied at dynamic eating psychology, it'd be like, oh, eating psychology, I might need that, right? She talked about where she went to school and then where she lives, where she's from. So it's not too long, right? It's a good amount where people are kind of going ways to connect, and then just a few more ways to connect with links. And then she has her featured photo, which is just another way of people to see you. I just have to say, isn't that a beautiful picture? That's a son and her grandson. So her vibe looks good. This is just, so you got to be careful. You don't want all business on your profile. I don't see that. These pictures look like kind of a balance. It's when you're putting business posts, there's a couple of strategies. One is to create curiosity. This is just an announcement. She's just sharing. She's not trying to sell anything. She's just talking about an interview. Ashley does a TV show every Monday, and so she was just inviting people to that. It's kind of like, hey, inviting people to a YouTube video or sharing that. There's nothing really wrong with that. But if that was all she had in here, then people would be like, what? That's all she talks about. But she talks about some of her business, but then she gives a little personal. And so I wanted to point her profile just to give you a different example to see what that would look like. And so that is the end of my presentation. So now I'm happy to answer any questions. And then the way to connect more with me, here's my website. And then there's some social media sites, but we can leave up. But
well, I love the workshop. I know y'all love the workshop too. We have a lot of guests also on here. They're definitely in tune with the marketing, video marketing, how it can benefit their business. So one of the questions that came up to me was, how you said to create a balance on your social media. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because you never know how far to go on one level to another.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Before I answer, I wanted to tell if anybody wanted a checklist, like a cheat sheet checklist for the profile, the things I went over, I have one to give you. So just let me know if you want that and I can get that to you. I have a link for that. So there's some different strategies. There's the 80-20 rule, 80% like lifestyle. There is a lot of different types of posts that are really successful, that are very effective. And one of them I talked about was like the engagement posts. You got value posts, lifestyle posts. You want, okay. And, entertaining posts that are inspiring, but telling your story. Posts that, there's story posts, Facebook stories and Instagram stories. Those are fun, but I'm talking about a post that tells you your story. And then you have social proof posts. So I would say break it up. And honestly, yes, you can do the 80-20, 80% non-business and then 20% business. I don't know. I feel like just being you, showing up as yourself and being really genuine and bringing true value, not in a sense of constantly sharing your business value, but bringing value in different ways. When you do that enough, people will start saying, when you offer something there, it's going to be natural. It's not going to be weird. And so I honestly believe that can look differently for different people. And so if you're like, I just need a concrete number, then I would say the 80-20 would be. But keep your mind open, right? Keep your mind open to, I think that when I started out, I got so hung up on that 80-20 that I was like, oh, wait, is this going to be too soon to post something, right? Can I post something about, my business? And I'm not talking about spammy posts. I'm just talking about something that's connected to me, sharing value about my business. I was so worried about that number. And so I just want to share, don't get hung up on the number too much.
I love that 80-20. I think that's a good guide for business owners, even such as myself, to even start out with. So that way you can expound upon it. Deborah, I think your social media profile, that looks amazing. I love the way Coach Tonia, how you were breaking that down. I'm just curious, Deborah, was there any highlight when she was breaking that down for you, like any aha moments?
Oh, definitely. When she clicked on the profile picture, how I will probably go back in there and put more of a story in there. And then also underneath, and I didn't realize that picture right underneath there was a what'd you call it?
The featured?
The feature. I didn't even realize that. I'm going to change that because I didn't even realize that's what that was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to change that.
I think you can put more than one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So you can kind of be strategic about that.
Oh, okay. And then I'll fill in a little more information there. So yeah, definitely. I got a lot out of these few minutes.
It looked like there's some more questions in the comments. Did you see them, Sunshine?
So that being said, I think one of the, you know how you did the breakdown of Facebook, is that also, would you say is different when it comes to Instagram, or they're so much similar? Just because I don't think it has so many different spots on Instagram.
Right. So I think some of the theory can apply to the different platforms. So, you want your cover photo or your profile photo on all the platforms to be of you, right? And you want to be consistent. I would recommend having the same photo on every platform so people get to recognize you, right? If you have branding colors, make sure you're using those same branding colors, unless it's a different business, right? So my Pinterest is kind of branches out more into horse. I travel with my horse and my dog, and I'm a dog groomer. I have a dog grooming business also. And so I kind of incorporate some of that, but I still have my same branding colors and my same cover photo or profile photo. So when you're on the other platforms, just take the concept of where can you put a link? Can you make sure it's something that's low resistance, a freebie? Now they have the link trees. I love the link trees, but a lot of times people stack them so heavy and a confused mind won't buy. So if you've got just a few things on your link tree, you're going to have a lot. I feel like it's going to be a better received. People will look at that and have a 2 or 3. You can have one thing or 2, I would say 2, but at least 2. I think I've got 3, maybe 4. But have them something that people are really needing, the solving a problem that they're needing. So, yes. And I don't feel like you have, I'm reading some of the questions, Sunshine. I don't know if that's cheating or not. But.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead and read the question out loud so that way if someone's. But I think Deborah wanted to say something real quick. You touched on a point.
Oh yeah. What's low resistance? What do you mean by that?
Low resistance is if I came to you, Deborah, and said, I want you to buy my lotion. It is so cool. You put it on, it smells good, it soothes your hands. And you're like, I don't know you. I don't know that I even want to buy your lotion. Why are you bringing that to me? That is going to be you're going to immediately put up a resistance, right? But if I came to you and said, hey, I've been using this lotion. I love it. And then just kind of keep on talking and say, hey, and share with you some value of some sort and say, hey, if you want to learn more about that, and I can even tell you more about this lotion, if you want to hear it, jump in my email list, right? It's free. You don't have to buy anything. That's low resistance. Something free, coming into a free Facebook group, that's low resistance.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, go ahead, Sunshine.
You can go ahead and read the questions and answer them as they go. I understand this is a great featured workshop, and so we're super excited to learn.
I love answering questions because it's. I remember being in that space. I remember starting out. I remember being so frustrated, so overwhelmed, and I just wanted the right answers. People tend to give you just a little bit, and it was so frustrating. I remember thinking, but they'll say, do this and this. I'm doing that. It's still not working. So I want to give as much as I was wanting at the time, right? So the question is from Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Do you have to use a lot of platforms? And she gives several options. That seems overwhelming trying to be everywhere. And I agree. I would say be where you want to be, where your audience is, and where you feel like you can thrive. So I'll be honest, like I get on Instagram, but I haven't dived into that enough to where I feel really good in there. So I repurpose. But if you're starting out, focus on 1, maybe 2 platforms that you feel really comfortable in and grow that. And when you start growing that audience and you start getting results, you're going to want to branch out because you're seeing how well it works, right? Oh my gosh, I'm getting this here in Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and go TikTok and I'm going to do YouTube and to Pinterest. But if that feels overwhelming to you, just focus on 1 or 2 that you feel really comfortable with. But more important than that, let me rephrase that. Maybe it's not more important because I think we should be enjoying ourselves too. I'm about having fun. But what is as important is where is your audience, right? My audience are women over 50, and we're mostly on Facebook. We're also on TikTok, hanging, watching that. We're also on YouTube, so where is your audience hanging out? I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. And that will answer, is it Ronky or Ronk? I know I'm butchering it.
You're fine. Ron K.
Ron K. Well, that's much prettier. Ron K. That's beautiful. How do you choose the platforms for your business? And I hope that answered that question too. And then Tiffany asked, is paying for ads beneficial if you don't have a big audience? Ads can cost a lot of money and end up not a lot of results. So if you had a large audience, you would probably be in a better position to run ads. I'm not saying that you shouldn't run ads. I'm not saying you should. I will tell you that I remember I had no audience in the beginning, and I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month running ads, and I wasn't getting much. I definitely wasn't getting a fraction of my income back. So I would say it's really touchy. I would say that if you feel comfortable, start out with like a $5 or $10 ad where you're not putting a lot of investment. Play around with it, test it. Ads are about testing. It's about split testing. There's a lot involved in running ads. If you know someone that you could trust that knows what they're doing and you could just pay for them to do it, might be an expert. Like I said, I'm not saying ads aren't beneficial, but there's so much you can do organically if you just have the strategy and know the steps. That I don't think you need to run ads, but it also depends on the business you're doing too.
I love. I think what I gathered from what you said, Coach Tonia, is that to build authentic relationship with your audience, which in return is going to help build that attraction that you want to get. And I think, like you said, once your business gets to a certain level, then you will see more value in the ads that you're running.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think what, it's so easy. It's a lot easier than we think. It sounds exhausting if you're thinking, okay, I've got to do this on social media. I got to do this organically. You've got to post, then you've got to try to grow your audience and then engage with them. It just all seems overwhelming. But if you know how to do it the right way, I believe in time freedom. I believe that we shouldn't spend hours of our day on social media. It's just not healthy. And so by figuring out what steps to do to make that, and once you get that engine flow going, it's just like anything else. Even if you're not brand new on social media, but you've been struggling a while, it takes a little while just to get that engine going, but not that long. I've actually tested it. I thought, I had maybe something came up in my life, and I would go, okay, I'm going to use this opportunity to kind of not be as consistent, not show up like I should because I'm, out of town with no internet, something like that. And I come back and I'm like, it's kind of almost like starting over, but I realize it doesn't take that long. I can get right back into the groove. Now, do I want to do that very often? No, I don't do that anymore, but I was doing that for a little while because I was traveling a lot. I'm like, I just want to see, I'd have a really good momentum going, and then I would just kind of back off. And I found that it really doesn't take that long. So I hope that helped answer. I'm a talker. You got to shut me down a little bit. I can keep on talking.
Wow, no, I think, and I love what you're saying. That being said, I ran across a clip from one of the other coaches that was saying how important it is to be on social media when it comes to your business. And so for you to be able to have this workshop, Posting for Profit, I like to break it down a little bit because I do know that is something that is meaningful to you when you said posting for profit. I know how you put posting before profit. So how does the two tie in together, and how important and distinct are the two?
Well, if you just post, that's not going to create an income. What you've got to do is set up a system. And so you want to create, like I said in the slide, the purpose of posting is you want to build your brand awareness, get people to see you, notice you. You want to create engagement. You want people to get engaged with you. And the whole purpose is to lead to the next step. And so it's very important to show up and be consistent. And like I said, even though I gave you that example because I wanted you to see that it doesn't take that much to get that going. It seems at first with a lot of people, I know it did with me, and maybe it doesn't with you, but it did with me. It seemed overwhelming. But once I understood the steps, it really is not that hard. And so I feel like did I answer your question, Sunshine? I feel like I've
no. You're totally I was telling you, I was saying how you have posting for profit and how the two are different but one can lead successfully to the other. So I wanted you to break that down.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified again, because I was like, I got to going on one topic about why we post, and then what the whole mission is to lead to that next level. You want people to stay in your world as long as possible. Now you think about, the old saying was 7 touches to make it that you have to have with someone to make a sale. Well, social media has made that so simple. I mean, if you worked in any kind of business before social media or before 2020, even, you probably realized that, it's a little slower. You get on social media and it's like there is a world of people all over the world that you have a connection with, but they have to see you, right? I even teach more in one of the previous interviews that I did with Sunshine. I talked about when you create content, a reel, a short video, a long form video, any of that, or even a post, having that hook to get their attention. You've got to have their attention long enough so that they can get your call to action. They can get to your next step. Sometimes it's just going to be an email list. Sometimes it's just going to be something free. Sometimes it's just going to say like and follow for more, because you want them to stay in your world. Then at that point, there's going to be that next step, right? You're going to get them on your email list. You can write emails every day. You can sell a lot easier once they're in your list. Now, maybe you have a texting system, and that's the way you connect with your audience outside of social media. The point is, you want to use the post to get engagement. You want to invite them to the next level or next step with you. And the next step is to stay in your world even more, where you can really connect with them, like in an email or like a texting system. The texting systems are great, but you just can't give as much detail like you can in an email. So, but it can definitely stay. You can stay in their mind, right? You want them on your mind, and so that when you do offer on social media, you create a post and say, "Hey, I've got a workshop coming up. Here it is." Once people are in your world, they're going to go, "I'm curious. I want to know about that." Or they're saying, "Sign me up." Right? I've had that happen. I've had it happen where people they know me so well that if I say it, they're going to say, "Sign me up. I want, they already know me. They like me. They trust me." Ron K asks, when is it a good idea to hire a social media manager? When you are making enough money to pay for one. I think sometimes we get so excited about the opportunities out there. But I would say when you have enough money, when your business is making enough to justify it. Now, sometimes you can go out on faith, right? You can go ahead and get one going and see what happens. But yeah, that would be my recommendation.
I love it when you said that that your business is growing and you can afford to, definitely afford one. Just to also add to it, because I know you talk about this a lot, is being clear about who you are and what you do and the people you serve, because that is also important before hiring a social media
Yes.
management. Why? I know you talk about that a lot. Can you tell us a little bit why that's so important?
Well, it's just like with creating content. If you don't know who you're talking to and you don't know the message you're getting out there, you may have a message and it's for everyone. And then the problem with that is no one's really going to hear that. If you have that message to as if you're speaking to one person. So what is that message? How are you going to serve? And if you don't know that, if you don't have that clarity, hiring someone to do it for you, it will not work. And I've done that. I had someone, I was trying to have them create content, and I'd be like, I don't know. I think what I was wanting was the answer for them to come up with a solution. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to post. That get your head down and look at the computer. You're like, I'm going to create a week's worth of content right now, and you draw a blank. And I thought, well, if I hire someone to do it for me, it won't be a problem. Well, they're not going to create the content unless you give them the information of what that you want it on. right? So that's why I would say clarity is very important.
Thank
Clarity
you.
in who you're serving, the problem you're solving. I don't know that you have to have, their age, their name, how many kids they have, what they do for a hobby, what they do for a living. I don't know that is as important is what problem do they have that you can solve, that you want to solve, right? And once you get very clear on that, what is that one person in your mind needs you today? Who has that problem that is waiting for an answer so desperately that if you don't show up, they're not going to get it and they're going to keep struggling? That is that person you get in your mind. It could be a different person every day. That person. I mean, if it may be someone you don't even know. You may see a post on social media and someone or an ad. I love getting information from ads. You see an ad on social media that has your audience. It's like all the people that are watching that are going to sign up for that freebie or that course are going to be people that are your audience. And you look in the comments of the people and the things they're struggling with, those content right there, right? And you can pick one person a day and have that person in your mind, right? And talk to that person. So.
I love it. I love it. Anybody else have any more questions? And again, even if you don't get your questions in the chat while we're on the broadcast, feel free to put it in after. Coach Tonia is going to go back and look at them. But if you can take a few moments and tell us what exciting things we're in for on your next, part 2, because I know you broke this down. We're super excited. So if you can give us a sneak preview, we would be so happy.
Well, I can tell you a sneak preview. Unfortunately, I don't have anything slideshow wise to show you, but it's basically planning your content strategy, which is a little different than planning your content. It's basically understanding, and we're going to dive a little bit in what I just talked about, and getting just that clarity and, yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
Okay, awesome. So it sounds like we're gonna have to wait to get the part 2 of Posting for Profit. So we're super excited about it to definitely, gain what you have for us to be able to take our social media to the next level. If you can, I'm gonna have you post again your different Facebook the different social media platforms you're on, and also I think you had a freebie also for people to also take advantage of.
Well, and that is part of that workshop is the, let me change this real quick. The part of that workshop is with the profile profit cheat sheet. So if once and let me try to share this real quick. Doing 2 things at once doesn't always work for me. Let's see.
Let me see. Give me a second.
Can you get it in there?
Yeah, I can try to. Give me a second. Oh, there you go. Bam. Okay, I got it. Oh, no, wait. That's not who I want. Let's see.
Yeah, I can't.
Let me find it. Oh, yeah, you posted. Okay, there you go. I found it. Okay.
There we go. Oh, it's dark. Hold on. Let me get back to it.
Okay.
There we go. So basically my name on most everything except for Pinterest, it's Farm Girl Tonia. So, and that was done for me. I did hire someone for the Pinterest for a short time, and they actually used keywords to discover that. So that is something that I'm kind of diving into. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Ronke. Thank y'all for your questions, and I appreciate you being on here. Deborah, thank you.
Got Deborah. Ashley. Ashlyn is here too.
Who?
Ashlyn is here.
Oh, I can't see the names. I'm
yes. So I can call.
Tonia.
We got Deborah, Tiffany, Roncat, Ashlyn, and if there's anybody else that I forgot, please let me know. But I just want to say welcome to the broadcast. We are super excited that you've been here the entire time. And Coach Tonia is going to be coming back again. I don't know. Do you have the date already set when you'll be back? Because I know you have a busy
the workshop
schedule.
is I'll come back. I'll get back to bringing that back up because
Okay.
the workshop is the next step is May 25th. It's plan your content strategy.
Okay.
And that really, and I can give you more detail, but it's just basically that's it. Getting a strategy in place that you can do consistently. What I talked about earlier, if you have that organic strategy in place, it just becomes this well-oiled machine that will then lead to more connection, more conversations. And that is the last part of this workshop is mastering the art of that connection and what to do with those, what to do when someone's leaning. Finally, you get people leaning towards you going, yes. Then what do? Right? You're like, oh crap, you get that deer in the headlights looking like, what do I do now? And that's what we're going to cover on June 8th. So
awesome. Okay. So that would be next Tuesday, correct?
No, May 25th.
May 25th. Okay.
Now for me on not the workshop, but the next time I'm going to be here, I don't know, Sunshine.
Gotcha. So let's see. Let me see.
It's not in front of me. I can't remember.
Oh, I know. I do know. Well, no, I don't. Not in front of me right away. But maybe I do. Give me a second. Let's see.
Okay. I could probably pull it up too.
How I can get that.
I see. I think the 9th is when I'm next on here for the interview. Okay. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So we'll have the interview and then we'll announce when the part 2 workshop is. I'll make sure everybody gets that announcement because I know y'all truly want to continue to build your social media to that level. Feel free to contact Coach Tonia Smith in the middle of that to at least get some more groundwork in. Again, I want to say thank you all for coming on to a workshop. Thank you, Coach Tonia Smith. You always come with so much value, just the VIP of video marketing, okay? We are super excited about all what you're going to continue to bring to the organization for this entire year. So I'm your host, Oluwafunke Fullenwinder. I go by Sunshine. I'm the CEO and founder of Next Level 2 Women Entrepreneur, where we provide speaking events for women entrepreneurs to expose who they are and what they do. We also have a global women business center that provides coaching and training to help women entrepreneurs to keep growing their business. And we don't stop there. We have our book club, networking club, and also available for women entrepreneurs to meet other entrepreneurs, to engage with them and potentially be able to form that partnership, the collaboration, or even gain a customer or client. So as we continue to grow and do so much more in 2023, we hope you can plug in. Please visit our website at talktosunshine.info. Until next time, y'all have a great night and thank you for coming on. Thank you, Coach Tonia.
Thank you, Sunshine, so much.
You're welcome. And thank you all for coming on to the replay. And y'all have a great night.